A faint haze of morning light filtered through the diner's dusty windows, casting pale pools of warmth across the worn vinyl booths and chipped, mosaic-style tabletops. The gentle hum of voices blended with the soft clink of ceramic mugs and the hiss of the espresso machine, an orchestra of everyday life at Rosie's, where time seemed to slow just enough for each patron's worries to dissolve in a lukewarm cup of coffee. At the far end of the counter sat Mark Turner, a man whose unremarkable outfit, faded jeans and a flannel shirt draped over a plain tee, masked an intensity in his eyes. Maybe he was in his mid-40s, lines of fatigue etched around his gaze, but to everyone else, he was simply another familiar face, hair slightly mussed, posture relaxed, absorbed in the slow Tuesday traffic, trickling by the window. He came here most days, seeking the anonymity only Rosie's offered. No questions, just coffee and a few silent moments to breathe. Across the room, snuggled into a corner booth shadowed by a flickering neon sign, sat Earl Johnson. The man looked as fragile as the porcelain sugar dispenser he studied between murmured recollections. His faded VFW cap, worn at a jaunty angle despite the warmth inside, proclaimed his veteran status more clearly than any words. Earl nursed a single cup of coffee as though it were a lifeline, pulling each sip like a soldier rationing water in the desert. Occasionally, he spoke in hushed tones to the steam rising from his mug or to memories only. He could see his pale blue eyes, clouded by age and recollection, have recollection. Without warning, the quiet equilibrium fractured when 3 high school students swaggered in, soda cans rattling in their backpacks. They slid into the booth across from Earl, as if staking territory, invisible walls of bravado crackling around them. At first, they ignored the old man, thumb-scrolling screens, half-heard guttural laughter rising between text bubbles. But then, the ringleader spotted Earl's silent mutterings. "Yo, check out Grandpa talking to the salt shaker!" He jeered, voice ricocheting off linoleum floors. The laughter roared to life, drowning out the soft clatter of cups and drawing uncomfortable stares. Earl's head bobbed with surprise, confusion clouding his gentle features. Rosie, behind the counter, called out in her warm southern drawl, "Leave him be!" But her tone lacked the steel it needed, and the teens barely registered her plea. Emboldened, they poked fun at the VFW cap perched on Earl's head. Oh, a war hero, huh? Bet you were real tough," the leader sneered, flicking the brim. "Oh, what war was that? Pops?" The War of 1812. Earl flinched as laughter spiraled through the diner. His lips trembled. His voice emerged in a whisper. "A Korea." The teen guffawed. "A Korea. Wow, did you invent kimchi or something?" The friends howled again, oblivious to the weight of their cruelty. Sendaquilty. A hush spread, broken only by the uncomfortable sigh of a businessman glancing at his watch, as though timing the teenager's malice. But not everyone abandoned compassion. Mark Turner watched, jaw tightening, as he drained the last of his coffee. He slid off the stool and strode across the room, his gait unhurried, almost casual, yet every step carried purpose. Patrons leaned forward, breath held, as he approached the booth. Standing beside the ringleader, Mark's unassuming stance belied a presence that made even the mocking teen falter. "Leave the old-timer alone," he said, voice calm but unyielding. "He's not bothering anyone." The ringleader, puffed with misplaced confidence, snorted. "Who are you, his bodyguard? Mind your business, pal." Mark didn't shift or raise his volume. He looked the kid in the eyes. "Your fun is disrespectful. This man served his country. That deserves better than your cheap jokes." The diner went silent. No one blinked. No one spoke. The tension coiled tighter than a steel spring, until at last the lead teen shoved off the vinyl banquette, sneering, "Oh, whatever, man, this place sucks anyway," and stormed out. His friends followed, heads low, bravado evaporated in the face of quiet resolve. Silence settled like dust in the air before Rosie broke it, setting fresh cups before Mark and Earl. Steam curled upward in lazy spirals, carrying the rich scent of roasted beans. Mark slid into the booth, his tired eyes softening. "You all right, Earl?" he asked. The old veteran looked up, confusion giving way to gratitude. "Dear, I'm okay," he stammered. "We were just kids." "That doesn't make it right," Mark replied gently. Rosie placed the coffee, offering a nod and a murmured a thank you for stepping in. Mark shrugged, a hint of a smile tugging at his lips. Everyone deserves a peaceful cup of coffee. Earl cradled the mug, warmth seeping into his frail hands. A moment passed as they shared silence. The kind that speaks volumes. Earl's eyes unfocused, drifting back to memories of frost-bitten trenches. It's Korea, he murmured, voice thick with recollection. A coldest winter I ever knew. Mark nodded, respectful of the pause, saying nothing more. No probing questions, just company. After 10 minutes, Earl fished paper bills from his pocket, placing them on the table with deliberate care. More than enough to cover his coffee. A thank you, son, he said, voice steady now. He adjusted his cap and shuffled toward the door, each step measured. A soldier once more on a mission. Mark watched him go, thoughtful, then finished his own coffee. He paid, left a generous tip, and stepped out into the soft glare of the afternoon sun, melting into the unmapped flow of the city sidewalk. He walked a block, each footfall deliberate, and paused beside a nondescript sedan parked mid-street. Leaning against its cool metal, he scanned the block through practiced, unobtrusive alertness. An unremarkable man on a routine patrol. 30 minutes ticked by, then 60. Exactly 1 hour after the confrontation, the ordinary Tuesday ruptured. Sir! Screeching tires cut through the calm as a black SUV, windows opaque, whipped around the corner, followed by 2 identical silhouettes. The convoking roar of engines sealed the block. Tinted windows glinting, doors snapping open in synchronized precision. Men in dark suits spilled out, earpieces glinting under their collars. They redirected traffic with terse gestures. Drivers hesitated, phones hovered, pedestrians froze, lips parted in disbelief. Was it a bust? A VIP arrival? A terrorism drill? Questions sparkled in the air. Then, amid the orchestrated stillness, a rear door swung open. A sharp-booted officer emerged, service cap aligned with military precision. Insignia on his shoulders marked him a Brigadier General. General Kirby surveyed the blocking SUVs before his gaze, fixed on the lean figure by the sedan. Mark Turner, still leaning, still calm, as though waiting for an old friend. Kirby stepped forward, earpiece crackling, and approached with deliberate stride. The bustling blockade seemed to part for his authority. In a hushed exchange, Kirby said, Commander Turner, your check-in was overdue. Took us an hour to reroute and secure the approach after your signal. Mark pushed off the sedan, posture sharpening, and delay, General. Unforeseen civilian interaction. Kirby's brow furrowed. Orders were strict. Observation only. Was the asset compromised? Negative. Mark answered. The asset wasn't involved. Just a personal matter. Some kids hassling an old vet. I intervened. General Kirby absorbed this, glancing toward the diner that had witnessed the morning's drama. His features flickered between disapproval and reluctant respect. Personal matters are a luxury this assignment doesn't afford. Mark's eyes held conviction as he replied. So some lines shouldn't be crossed, regardless of mission parameters. A silent beat passed. Charged as electricity, and then the general's posture softened fractionally. His stage 2 protocols, escort Commander Turner and the package to the transfer point, Kirby ordered, raising an eyebrow as agents converged on Mark. He spared one look for Rosie, who pressed her face to the diner window. Mark, what in the world is going on, sir? She called, voice trembling between awe and fear. Kirby turned, voice carrying across the silent crowd. Ma'am, Commander Turner here concluded sensitive government business, and he made sure basic decencies were upheld in your establishment this morning. Rosie's eyes widened as she connected the dots, the confrontation, the black SUVs, the general's arrival. A hush swept through the onlookers. One by one, they lowered their phones, faces pale with realization. The businessman who'd sighed earlier stood too, clutching his briefcase as though seeing Mark's quiet act of heroism for the first time. In moments, the convoy melted away, vehicles sliding into traffic, agents disappearing like ghosts, and the blockade dissolving as abruptly as it had appeared. The block exhaled, returning to its routine heartbeat, yet nothing felt the same. Whispers blossomed in corners. Who was Mark Turner? What secret mission could justify such force? The teenagers who teased Earl kept their distance from Rosie's for weeks, haunted by rumours of black SUVs and a general's wrath. Inside her diner, Rosie replayed the morning's events, mind dancing between disbelief and newfound pride. Out on the sidewalk, Mark Turner, or Commander Turner, walked steadily toward a secure facility, or perhaps toward another cafe in another city. He carried no weapon visible to the world, yet his true strength lay in decisive kindness. His defense of Earl was no part of any assignment, yet it revealed the deepest truths of character. The echo of armored doors and whispered orders lingered in the air, a testament to the power of unseen duty. Those who had witnessed it learned a lesson. Respect isn't reserved for rank or status. It's owed to every soul who's paid their dues, and to those who stand quietly for what's right. After all, the quiet ones often carry the heaviest burdens and reveal the deepest strengths when no one expects it.